Shabbat Shalom. The top of the page, the words, B'Shem Hashem, the name of the one, B'Shem Hashem, Elohei Yisrael, Mili, Michael, U'mismoli Gabriel, U'milfanai Uriel, Mi'achonai Rafael, Ve'al Roshi Shechinatel, B'Shem Hashem, Elohei Yisrael, Mili, Michael, U'mismoli Gabriel, U'milfanai Uriel, Mi'achonai Rafael, Ve'al Roshi So surrounding us, on my right, angels, on my left, angels, above me, behind me, and in front of me, angels. In Shabbat, of course, everywhere we go, And so as we make our way towards Higalena on page 7 and 8, whatever it is that you're holding, you know, sometimes we walk into a synagogue and it's like, okay, we're going to just be really well behaved. But if you were home and you were relaxing, you might just like, oh. So feel free to let the week off of your shoulders, your forehead. The music might do it. You might help. You might stand. You might shake. You might breathe. You might think. Do a little bit less of that tonight. You might listen. Shabbat comes. It's there on Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday. It's there underneath. But we have a day called Shabbat, but you can be out of Shabbat even on Shabbat. So how do we step into Shabbat? We take off something, some face, some mask, some garment, some tension, some stress, some preoccupation, something. And we enter into Sukkah of Shalom, into a space of right this moment is all I have and all I need. So on the bottom of page 7, 8, Hebrew, English, bolded, not bolded. We say, Higalena, please reveal, please reveal. We ask, so Higalena. Higalena. Higale, gale, gale, no. Frost, frost, habibi, As we turn to page 9 and 10, Lechu neranena L'Adonai Naharia Letzur Yeshenu Nekadem Afanav Betoda Bezemirus Narialo Kiel Gadol Adonai Melech Kol Elohim. God's hand firms earth's edges. Come, let us bow in awe and say our blessings before the breath that made us. For here is our God, and we are the shepherd's flock. If only we heard God's voice. Al takshu levavchem kimirivam, ki yom hasa bamidbar, asher nisuni avotechem, v'chanuni gamnu fo'ali. Arba'im shana akut bedor va'omar am to'el levavem ve'hem lo yadu derachai asher nishbati be'api im yevon el menuchati. On page 13, 11, 12. Shinu l'Adonai, shingim chadash, l'Adonai kol ha'aretz. Shinu l'Adonai, baruch shemo, asu me'yom le'yom, Yeshuato u'makoyim, le'emonot kol ha'amim, le'kutam ki gadol Adonai, u'molam le'kol Akol Elohim, kol Elohim, ha'mirelim, ha'adonai shomayim u'masam, u'me'adad e'efaros ve'nid'eh, ve'nashor u'ladonai nishbekot, amir u'ladonai ha'odma ve'kavod Ze'urim, Yehovah Katzot, kol As we turn to Psalm 29 on page 19 and 20, this psalm is a psalm of power and vulnerability, the sound of voice and the sound of nature, the sound of divinity in all of her manifestations and all of her profound, subtle and not so subtle ways of showing. Mizmor de David, Havu Ladunai B'nei Elim. Mizmor David, Havu Ladunai B'nei Elim. Havu Ladunai. As we're standing here together, just take a moment to feel your feet on the ground and just bend your knees ever so slightly to feel more of the earth, more of earth holding you. And what does it even feel like to hear those words, we got you, we're holding you? Set that down. Set that down, let it go. It's okay, give it to me, I'll take it. And as we exhale, exhale the weight of your life into the Shekhinah, into what holds all of us at this moment. When you feel comfortable and like to sit, please be seated and find these words on page 21 and 22. Anna b'chor gedulas yaminecha tatitzura. Ay, 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 ay. Kabel mina samecha sagevenu tarenu nora. Nagibor doshe yichudecha kevavat shamrein. Bless us and cleanse us with your righteous compassion. Always be granting us your kindness, oh yo 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 yo. Mighty Holy One, in your great generosity, lead this flock, singular and lofty. Turn to this people chanting, we the chanters of your holiness. Yachin Ge'eh Le'amecha V'nei Zochrei Kedusha Techa Yachin Ge'eh Le'amecha V'nei Zochrei Kedusha Techa Dininai Nanam Dininai Dininai one more time, Yachid Ge'eh Le'amecha Zochrei Wayne Mueller, your brother Wayne, wrote a book on Shabbat. And in that book, he said, quoting the Tao Te Ching, who is it that can make muddy water clear, but if allowed to remain still, it will gradually become clear of itself? He writes, the invitation to rest is rooted in an undeniable spiritual gravity that allows all things at rest to settle, to find their place. There comes a moment in our striving when more effort actually becomes counterproductive, when our frantic busyness only muddies the waters of our wisdom and our understanding. But when we become still and allow our life to rest, we feel a renewal of energy and a gradual clarity of perception. So take a moment, everybody, at this moment to allow the muddy waters to settle. And as you close your eyes, if you feel comfortable doing that, bring your immediate awareness to your body as it is in space, as it appears to you. Feel your body. Direct your awareness to the sensations of chair and back or bottom against chair or floor. Scanning your body with your awareness to notice and feel sensations wherever they appear. And with each breath in and breath out, allowing more and more of your mind and your heart and your body to settle. Spent today with a beloved friend who she laid her mother to rest. And she and her wife sang Psalm 23. And in that psalm it says that God makes me lie down in green pastures, leads me beside still waters, and restores my soul. The restoration of our soul. Brother Wayne says another stunning principle of Shabbat time is that God doesn't want us to be exhausted. God wants us to be happy. And that the practice of Shabbat is designed specifically to restore us a gift of time in which we allow the cares and concerns of the marketplace to fall away, setting aside a time for oneg, delight in just being alive, savoring the gifts of creation, giving thanks for the blessings we may have missed in our necessary preoccupations with our work. So I hope you're not working right now and not trying too hard to find page 23 and 24, where the remarkable Shlomo Alkabetz left a legacy that we will never forget as we sing his song, welcoming Shabbat, along with a high priest from Montreal, Lecha Dodi. Lecha Dodi, Likras Kala, הנה שבת שמור וזכור בדיבור אחד, השמיענו אל המיוחד, אדוני אחד ושמו אחד. לשם ותפארת לתהילה אחד אותי לקראת מעלה בני שבת נקרב אליו לך דודי לקראת מעלה. This should be surround sound. If I stand here לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה, כי היא מקור הברכה, מראש מקדם נסוכה. סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה, לך דודי לקראת קלה, הנה שבת נקרא. מקדש מלך עיר מלוכה, קום נישאי מתוך ההפיכה, רב לך שבר בעמק הבכה, והוא יחמור עלייך חמלה, לך דודי לקראת קלה, בני שבת נקרב אליו. לך דודי לקראת קלה, בני שבת נקרב אליו. התנערי מעפר קומי, לבשי בגדי תפארתך עמי, על יד בני שרת הלכמי. קורבה אל נפשי עלייך נגלה, לך דודי לקראת קלה, בני שבת נקרב אליו. לך דודי לקראת קלה, בני שבת rise and face the door. Likat kala v'nei Shabbat nekabela boi b'shalom ateret balagam b'simcha u'v'tzohala. Amongst all of those who believe in the power of love, Boi Chala, Shabbat Hamalka, Olecha Dodi, Olikas Kala, B'nei Shabbat. If you're already facing Jerusalem, please remain standing. Turn to face the front of the room as we turn to page 27 and 28, the Psalm of Shabbat, Psalm 92, Mizmor Shel Yom HaShabbat. Tov leodot la'Adonai lezamer l'shimicha. Oh, we look forward to the day when Tzaddik Katamar Yifrach. On that day, the righteous will flower like a palm tree and flourish like the groves of cedars. Shesulem beveis Adonai. Bichatzros Eloheinu Yafrichu. Odin nuvon beseva deshenim virananim eyu. Lagid Yashar Adonai Tzuri v'lo avla savo. On page 30, we pray for healing. In the middle of the page, where the words Anna Ilna Rafana La appear, those words taken from Moshe's prayer for his sister, as if to say to each and every one of us, when we pray for a loved one who's in need of healing, pray like you would pray for a brother or sister, a mother or father. Pray for healing because we are one family. Amen. You may be seated. Shabbos, everybody. Good Shabbos. Shabbat Shalom. First of all, hi. Like, so far away. It's like, good to see you all. If you're here for the first time, can't wait to welcome you. If you feel comfortable introducing yourself, I'll come around with a handheld microphone in a moment. A couple of very brief announcements. If you can turn from the heart to the head slightly or stay in the heart. Ignore the announcements if you'd like. We have them written down so you can take them with you if now that shift is a bit too radical from the intensely beautiful heart space into, let me try to remember this. But hopefully you'll hear it and then it'll jog your memory. When you look at the newsletter, First of all, we want to welcome a group of teens from Anshe Emet Synagogue in Chicago. Where are you guys? Are you guys here? Did they come? They're not here because you would know them. Okay, so then they're not here. So wherever they are, we hope that they feel welcome in whatever space they're in. They couldn't, maybe they didn't make it, it was a little bit, There's going to be another group here, I know. So, okay, we'll get to that in a second. So next Friday night, okay, no shows. Next Friday night, Zach Fredman and his Epicurus will be back, Rabbi Zach Fredman. Next Friday night, for the dinner after services, he'll be here with us for Zmirot, a community Shabbat dinner, no amplification, just as you have requested. So we'll have Zmirot at dinner, and it's just going to be no microphones and just like voices. It's going to be beautiful. Also, this coming week, just to remind you that the new spring Beit Midrash with Rabbi Kohler Esses and Hebrew learning are starting very soon, so register. Purim is really a couple of weeks away, so share the joy of Purim with Matanot Evyonim, support the community kitchen to provide food to all of the neighbors in need all year long. We make meals next door in our Romemu Center, and so also we are specifically targeting Mishloach Manot for people incarcerated at Rikers. So you can order from our Amazon wish list that is linked in the emails that we send out, and the help package is going out on March 1st. Purim celebrations, Megillah reading will be at 7 p.m. There'll be a post-Megillah performance of an alternative rock band, and then there'll be a Club Shushan one-night-only disco and karaoke that's happening across the street. There's also some social action volunteer opportunities that are also written in your newsletter to take with you, but specifically we wanted to raise up a need to help formerly incarcerated individuals through the Romemu Social Action partner organization, Exodus House. And so that information is also in your newsletter. And there's going to be a kiddush after services tonight across the street. And without further ado, if there's anybody here that would like to say hello, we would love to say hello. Any first timers, anybody? This is a microphone. It amplifies. If you want, sure, you can see you haven't been here in a long time, and you can stand up so people can see this amazing teacher, friend.
I was here many years ago now, but not for Shabbat. So my name is Mirabai Starr, and I'm coming from Taos, New Mexico.
Mirabai is a beloved friend and a beloved teacher of spirituality from many different traditions, who's in town. Last time we were together was in Chautauqua Institute in this past summer. Some of you might even know Mirabai's work, but in any event, you're here to be a Jew in the pew with the rest of us. So we're so happy you're here, Mirabai. Anybody else want to say hello? Yeah? Hi.
Hi, I'm Sam.
Sam.
I'm from Florida, and I'm here for my confirmation class trip with Kol Tikva.
With Kol Tikva from
Parkland.
From Parkland. All right. Welcome. We're so happy you're here. Good to have you guys. Good to see you. Hey.
Hi, Rabbi. I'm Brad Boxman, proud to be the rabbi of this wonderful group of kids.
Oh, yeah, Rabbi.
We brought them here before, not these other classes. I'm here with Yael Horowitz-Lang, who's our chaperone and educator at our congregation. And, we just celebrated, or remembered, I should say, the remembrance of the 5th anniversary of the terrible tragedy in Parkland, but these kids are here because they want to live life and celebrate. And so thank you for the beautiful spirituality that you bring to us today.
Thank you for being here with us. And thank you to these amazing, worship leaders and the hearts that are open through the words of our ancestors. And thank you for your courage and for your confirmation. It's awesome. Thank you for celebrating life. Anybody else who's here for the first time want to say hello? Anybody? Okay, all good. Maybe online we have some friends. Either way, if you're here for the first time or the 15,000th time, we welcome you. Who's here as a regular, been a member of Romemu for a couple of years, and you show up week in and week out, like part of this community? Yeah, amazing. Online too, we have some people online also. Those of you here for the first time, we welcome you. Can't see you, but I know you're there. And if you're also one of the Romemu regulars, we also, so good to see you. Just had a remarkable afternoon. Again, as I said, Rabbi Jill Hammer, dear member of our community and teacher within our community, lost her mother this past week. And we send her our love and our condolences and our connection, most importantly, that we're with her. And we're sitting around together at a friend's house after being at the cemetery for the first Shiva, kind of coming back to the home, and just how powerful it is just to be together. Like, Hinei Matov Umanaim, it's so good just to sit together, to sing together, to be with friends together. It's kind of something that, that no matter how ubiquitous virtual experience might become, and thank God it is for so many people who can't come otherwise, being together in the room, right? Being in the room. There's something that happens in the room. I don't know, in the room where it happens in the room. We're going to be rising for the community call to prayer for the Baruch Hu. You can find those words on page 31 and 32. I invite you to take a minute or two just to say hello to people around you or cross over an aisle, just a minute or two. Wish them a Shabbat Shalom, as we call you. When you hear us singing, come back. Come back. Come back. Everybody together with us. You know, 15 years ago, I had a friend who came to me and he said, I have a feeling that I want to start a shul. And I said to him, where do you want to start the shul? He said, on the Upper West Side. And I said, aren't there a lot of other shuls on the Upper West Side? And he said, yeah, but there's always room for one more. So I told him not to do it, but he didn't listen to me. And here we are 15 years later. And one of the things that I love the most about being in Romemu is that we choose melodies often. Some of them are very beautiful, very complex. Our music comes from all over the place, and we try so badly to bring a diversity of music to this community, to lift hearts and open them. But more often than not, we like to be in the simplest melodies so that we can all sing together, because there's nothing like singing together with people. Nothing. Sorry. Nothing. So can you hear how simple this piece is? Everybody got it? Guys in the back got it? It's so simple. It goes like that again. And then it lifts us up in the second part. Na 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 na. Oh, na 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 na. We're on page 31 and 32. So when we're all singing together, all God's children got a place in the choir. Some sing low and some sing high. Some love people in different ways, right? Some have different sexual orientation, some have different gender identification, some use one pronoun, some use a different pronoun, some look one way and others look another way, and all of us get together in this ark and we sing together and say, the world can sometimes feel like a flood, but we're in this together. And so community means the we of it all. On page 31. Baruchu et Havaya HaMevorach Baruch Adon HaMevorach La 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 la, oh na 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 na, na 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 na, ya ma ma ma, oh na na na, ya ma ma, oh na na. Be seated as we continue singing on page 34. Rucha Achchechina Eloheinu Ruach Haolam Asher Midvaram Ariva Aravim Bechokma Potachat She'arim. We Jews bless impermanence. We don't start our evenings by saying, blessed are you, source of life, who gives us an endless day or an endless night. But blessed are you, source of life, who changes day into night, but night also into day. Teach us to follow that way, the way of change. Elachaya v'kayemet tamid timoch Page 36. Love that never ever ends. A love that comes before and after. A love we can always locate. Avatcha al taseh mimenu. In all dimensions of existence, Baruch Atah Havayam, Ohev Amo Yisrael. Shema Yes Adonai Eloheinu On page 39 and 40, V'yochavtam ei V'hoyu advarim ha'ele וקשרתם ליאוס על ידיך וכספתם We continue on page 41 and 42. Yayayim Shamoa Tishmo Mitzvotayim. וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך וישאר למען יבוא ימיכם. וימי בניכם על אדמה שישבע אדוני לאבותיכם. לעשש להם כימי השמיים על הארץ ויאמר אדוני אל משה לאמור דבר אל בני ישראל ואמרת עליהם ויעשו להם ציצית על גבי בדיהם לדורוסם ונשנו על ציצית וריסם עושו וזכרתם את כל מצוות אדוני ועשיתם עושם ולא תסורו אחרי לבביכם ואחרי עיניכם שאתם זונים אחריהם למען תזכרו Adonai Elohechem Emes Elif Lan Mitzrayim On page 47 and 48 Uvanim es kvuroso Shivichu vihodu lishmo ומלכוסו ברצון קיבלו עליהם משה ומרים ובני ישראל לכנו שירה With great joy we all sang מיכה מוחה Baidim Adonai Micha Mocha Nedar Bakodesh Noram Tehilot Malchutecha Ra'umanecha Adonai et Yaakov Ugealo Chazak mimenu As we pray for peace on page 49, Ashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu L'Shalom. Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha Baruch atah Adonai הפורש סוכת שלום עלינו ועל כל עמו ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל ועל ירושלים. Please rise. Shamru on page 51 and 52. The key I can hear you. Veshomeru b'nei Yisrael et לעשות את השבת לדורותם on page 52. Iskandal v'yiskandal shemei Rabbah v'alamad yivlach yirtei
v'yamlich malchutei v'chayeichanu yomeichon uv'chayei techol beit Yisrael v'agala uv'izman kariv v'yimeru
Amen. Yehi Shmei Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yispoar v'yisromam v'yisnaseh v'yisagdal v'yisaleh v'yisalam shemei dikudesha le'ela min kol birchata tush v'chasa v'nechemos damiron me'alma. Our Amidah could be found on page 55 and 56 as we stand in reflection together.
I started working about a month and a half ago over at an institution that's been around for 149 years now. It's 149th year. It will begin its march towards 150. Haba Aleinu L'Tova, God willing, one day Romemu will be 150 years old. But the institution that I work for used to be called the 92nd Street Y. But at some point they realized that the 92nd Street Y or 92Y was insufficient, and so they decided to engage in a radical rebranding and reimagining of what the Y could and should be, and they invited in like a huge group of experts, and they had a whole rebranding, they spent lots of money on it. And in the end, they came up with this radical shift. They're no longer 92nd Street Y, 92Y, but they're called 92NY. And it signals a lot for those who know the difference between an N and a Y and just Y. Certainly, a letter matters. We don't, sometimes we call ourselves the USA or just the US. But when your name is only 3 letters long and a third of it is missing, so it's a big deal, right? So, they had 3 letters and they increased it by 1, and it's a big deal. And those who have been in the synagogue for, a couple of years know that that each year at this parsha, I'm completely absorbed in one letter in the Torah. Only one letter. And it isn't the Aleph, which is the first Hebrew letter in the alphabet, which of course is quite significant. It's not a Taf, which is the last Hebrew letter in the Hebrew alphabet. But with the 6th letter of the Hebrew alphabet, which is a Vav. The 6th letter of the Hebrew alphabet, of course, by the way, if anybody here doesn't read or speak Hebrew, that's cool. If you speak English, you also speak Hebrew, because the entire Western alphabet is based upon the 22 to 29 letters of the Hebrew alphabet. There's a direct, alphabet and aleph bet. So the 6th letter, the Vav, which becomes the W in the Roman, the Vav is the 6th letter, and it serves a number of functions. If it's at the end of a word, it can make it into a plural. If it's at the beginning of the word, it can do a number of different things. It can turn the word, it can invert the word, make it the opposite of what it's intended. But most famously, for anybody who's ever studied Hebrew or has used Hebrew in some way, the Vav is known as a prefix to a word as the Vav ha-chibur. A Vav in the front of a word, of a Hebrew word, you put that 6th letter, I take this Vav off my chest and put it onto a word, and it chiburs, it connects. It becomes a conjunction. It adds. It says that which came before is now connected to this, as if mid-sentence we say and, the. And it makes its way in a famous way into this coming week's weekly wisdom, where the very beginning of the parsha of the week, the weekly wisdom, chapter 21 of the book of Exodus, begins with the letter Vav, in the word ve'ele, and these, and these. And these. What are and these? Well, first, what are these? These are the laws, the Eila HaMishpatim. These are the laws, as our friend, I think it was Jack Kornfield or Joseph Goldstein, one of the Jubus, wrote a book called After the Ecstasy, the Laundry. If last week's Torah portion was the ecstasy of Sinai, this week's Torah portion is the laundry list of how to walk it out into the world.
This coming week's Torah reading, chapter 21, 22, 23, and 24 of the book of Exodus will be the portion of the Bible that has the most number of commandments, ethical and moral statutes, things from not taking a bribe when you are a judge, to making sure that if your ox or anything that belongs to you injures another person, you are responsible, and so on and so on. 53 mitzvot in total, 53 of these commandments. And so clearly these, Eile, with the addition of the prefix, the Vav, connects these pieces to what came before. And what came before was Sinai. The Vav here is the Chibur, is the connection between Sinai and the laws of ethical and moral behavior. The great medieval commentator Rashi says, had it just written Eile, it would have poselet Rishonim, it would have negated or invalidated all those things that were Rishonim, what came before, as if to say, let's start from scratch. Vav ve'ele mosif al Rishonim, it adds to what came before. This is a remarkable moment. It's not 92y, it's 92ny. It's not Eile, it's ve'ele. And the significance, of course, is more than just theological or polemical. It's not just, you might have thought that all of the commandments that are man-made or that are rational or that can be justified, it makes sense for me to pay damages if if my ox, hurts you, Keith, I have to pay damages. In a world of, it makes sense. And Rashi's argument here might be a polemical argument. Don't think or deride or put on a lower hierarchy of value the mitzvot that seem to be understandable to human rationale, or, John Locke could come up with something as a social contract theory. But they're also divine, just like the ones that came from Sinai. But I think it's more profound. I think Rashi is saying something much more beautiful, much more prosaic, and much more real for me and you in our lives. I think Rashi is saying that love connects the past with the present and the future. That when Vav, or connection, is there, Vav here representing that which bridges, then you want to add to what came before. You don't want to negate it. You want, first and foremost in your life, to think of ways that you can bring things forward. You want to think in your life, Rashi seems to be saying, that there is no division between the ecstasy of Sinai and the laundry list of the day-to-day. And that for some reason, and most notably because of the, to some degree because of Christian theology and kind of the polemic or the marketing campaign to make sure that Christianity was a religion of love and Judaism was a religion of law, we somehow came to see that there was no Vav to be found in law. That the Vav was absent from law. That boundaries were not about love. That rules were not about love. If you grew up in a house where someone said no to you and you immediately thought to yourself, they don't love me, you get this. You spend your whole life thinking, oh, love and boundaries don't go well together. Somehow we think that the devotional aspect of Sinai and the mundane aspect of whether or not I take care of the orphan or the widow, or whether or not I pay for what I use, are somehow not in themselves an expression of love. So like Rashi seems to be coming along and saying, no, you have to understand, there's a connection between Sinai. There's a connection between the idea and the real. There's a connection. If the Greeks wanted us to believe that there was the good, the true, and the beautiful, Judaism is decidedly ambivalent about the beautiful. But it has a lot to say about the good and the true. The good and the true must be in harmony. Right? A truth that is not moral, a truth that isn't good. A Sinai that doesn't lead to a mishpatim is lacking vav. There's not enough vav there. There's not enough understanding of connection, of love, of what it means to be responsible. I was listening to a podcast this week where the great philosopher and legal theoretician Martha Nussbaum from the University of Chicago was in conversation about her work, centering around law and what she calls capabilities. She coined a term around capabilities, and she's written extensively about human responsibility to other humans and also to animals of late. And she began to say, like, all law begins where vulnerabilities are found. Laws are there to protect vulnerabilities, because all of us are capable of exposing the vulnerable. All of us are capable of treating that which is exposed, that which is vulnerable, in ways that are not good. And she said we have to bring harmony between truth and goodness, that our search for truth must also involve a search for the good. And they must always walk step in step. They are two wings of a bird, we might say in the Zohar. We have, right, two wings. We can't fly without, like, the good, Mishpatim, and the true, Sinai. They have to go together. And that little Vav, that little letter that turned Eila into Ve'ela, as if to say, before you leave Sinai, don't forget this. This is your list. This is what you got to take with you, right? It's such a profound lesson. It's such a hard lesson to live into. Between the rhetoric and the things that we say in the world and the actions that we play out in the world. The way we think about our lives or think about what's expected of us. There is no cleaving between the love of Sinai and the law of Mishpatim. Vav is Mosif al Rishonim. We have to add to that which came before. We have to connect the two. I would venture to say that in my life, and maybe in your life too, that if you were to look back over the span of your life, the moments in our lives that we have felt most absorbed in a moment of regret have been the times when our Mishpatim and our Sinai didn't meet. What my Rebbe, Reb Zalman, would call the ought and the is of our lives. The ought and the is, that we need more is in our ought, he would say. It's a little bit adorable, but I love it. A little bit more vav in our lives, a little bit more of the connection between the way we imagine the world should be and the way the world really is. And we need both of these together. If we don't have Sinai, then we have no north compass, we have no north star in which to seek out. We seek truth, seek, right? What's true? What's the nature of reality? If we don't have Mishpatim, we really have nothing. We make beautiful art and it hangs in the museum and people come to see it. But it doesn't change how they are and how they look at one another. And the Torah wants both of those things. It wants the why and the NY. It wants the Vav and it wants Sinai. It's a bracha. As we said in SLBC a couple of years ago, where it's like, Vav is all there is, right?
Was that 8 years ago?
Was that 8 years ago?
8 years ago.
Unbelievable. Time flies when you're having Vav. You're making Vav. We could just go on and on. We're going to rise for some love on page 81 and 82 because the world is built from love. Sing with us, everybody. Olam chesed yibaneh. Olam chesed yibaneh. Yadadai. from love. You must build this world from love. And if we build this world from love, God will build this world from love. This world from love. Olam chesed והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו On that day, we invite all of those who are in mourning to be held at this moment as you stand, for all of us to see and to stand with you as well. We lift up the memory of Ruth Bat Avram and Sarah, the beloved mother of our teacher, Rabbi Jill Hammer, tonight. We lift up these names tonight as well. Keith. Nearby. Marsha. Harley. David. May all of their memories be a blessing. All of those who are online as well, if you chatted in the name of a loved one, even if we can't see it, we want to lift all of you as well. The Mourner's Kaddish, the Aramaic prayer for those who have passed, can be found on page 115 and 116. If it is your custom to stand with the mourners, please rise. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shmei Rabbah v'omad divrach chirutei v'yamlich malchutei v'chayechon u'v'yamechon u'v'chayedecho beit Yisrael v'agala u'bizman kariv imru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mivoach le'alam u'me'almaya yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei dikudsha b'richu Leilam min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, v'amiram v'oma v'imru, Yehi shloma rabba min shmaya v'chayim, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru, amen. V'aseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'al kol yoshvei tevel v'imru, amen. We invite all of you to please rise at this moment for the Kiddush. Into our cup of blessing tonight, beginning with our amazing davening team tonight, to Brielle. So good to have you with us, Brielle, and Claudia, and Mark, and Rich. Not always people who are with us every single week, but we wish you were every single week. You bring so much beauty and love into this space. To our team of AV people, and to Elliot, and is it Rick? And to Jeffrey, and to all of those who are on staff, to Blanca, and to Victor, and the whole team. We invite everybody to come back tomorrow morning for the open book, and also stay for our Shabbat services. Tomorrow morning, 8:45, and then services at 10. Also, there is a Kiddush again across the street before you leave. If you're here and you are one of the regulars, please stay to welcome people who are here for the first time. We really need that. On page 88, please join us for Kiddush. To our confirmation class, want to come down and lead us for Kiddush? You guys want to come down? Come on down. Come on, lead us with Kiddush. Come on down. Hey guys, come on down. Is this their confirmation? If they do it, it's like this is. Do they know the whole thing? Or just most of it? Let's do it together, okay? Let's everybody do it together. Ready? Yom HaShishi, Vayechulu Hashamayim ve'haaretz, v'chol tzeva'am, Vayechal Elohim v'yom HaShvi'i, melachto Asher asa, vayishbot bayom hashvi'i mikol melachto asher asa, vayevarech Elohim et yom hashevi'i, vayikadesh oto. Elliot, asher bara Elohim lasot.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzav banu v'shabbat kodesho b'yahava v'ratzon hinchilanu zikaron lema'aseh v'reishit ki hu yom techila lemikra'ei kodesh זכר ליציאת מצרים, כי באנו בחרת, ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים, ושבת קודשך באהבה ורצון. Inchaltanu, Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat. L'chaim.
Od yomo shalom aleinu, Shabbat shalom aleinu, Shabbat shalom aleinu, ve'al kul. You have that, Mark? He's so good. Shabbat shalom aleinu. Amazing. Shabbat shalom aleinu, Shabbat shalom aleinu.